And that's, we have projected that could generate anywhere between 25 and $50 million, depending on how we set it up. But the key for us going forward is we have to become more efficient as a government. That means collapsing departments together. Like in the County of Los Angeles, they have a planning department. Their planning department handles all building and safety issues and planning. In the city of Los Angeles, we have a building and safety department, we have a planning department. Why don't we combine them? And there's discussions that are taking place now, and that was a suggestion that came from the neighborhood council. I don't see him here. A guy named Bruce suggested that, and then I forwarded it to the mayor's office. If that's successful, you save millions of dollars. So those are the types of things that we're going to have to do. Generate more money, become more efficient, and figure out what, as a city, we want to be. There's going to have to be some services that we probably need to eliminate and to let the private industry do. Last thing I will say, take the convention center. The city of Los Angeles should not be in the convention center business. We should hire professionals, let them do it, and let them pay us.
Just as a follow-up, the structural deficit, or the annual deficit for this year alone is anticipated being over $400 million.
It could be closer to 450.
Do you believe that there's enough of your suggestions that you proposed to make up that deficit?
No, I don't think. I think it's a good start, a good step in the right direction.
Okay. Mr. Brown, 10 questions.
To tackle that deficit, it's going to start here. It's going to start with us. We need to collaborate together and figure out a way to focus on this deficit. Yes, of course there's going to be cuts left and right from our city council, but we can help as a district and as a city. We can help tackle this deficit. We're going to definitely have to take some hard step backs, but it's really important that we focus together and put our heads together to figure out how to tackle this deficit as a family. In CD10, it's a lot of older, I guess, I don't want to say elderly, but it's okay. You guys are the elderly aspect of this district, and we're going to need your leadership and also with the young to figure out how to tackle this deficit. Tackling this deficit is not going to it's not going to be an overnight thing. But if we take short strides and make this thing happen, it can happen. We don't have to be bankrupt in 2014. We don't have to. But we need to sit down together and also with our city council and figure out how to tackle this thing as a family.
Mr. Dragon, same question. The city of Los Angeles is facing a massive, unprecedented annual budget shortfall and long-term structural deficit. What are your ideas to increase revenue, decrease spending, and/or make city services more efficient? How would you suggest that the city government and services be streamlined?
Well, one of the things that I find very, just troubling about the fact that the second largest city in the nation is going to be bankrupt in the next 3 years, is that we've known about this. I remember physically reading the stories in the LA Times in 2004 that we were heading towards this. So why are we waiting to the last minute? Once again, there isn't a sense of urgency about these things until we are basically getting to the kind of apocalyptic kind of end. As far as what specifically we need to do is with all of this money that we have been paying out in taxes and the money that we're borrowing and everything, I think we really need to start with a citywide audit as to how did we get into this situation, where has all our money been going all of these years, all of these decades, what money is going out, what money is coming in, what are our debts, what are our assets, what are we borrowing. We need to have basically a starting point before we do anything. If we don't do that, I remember the whole discussion about raising the DWP rates. And they were saying, well, we're going to have to furlough city employees for 2 days a week, and we don't have money and all of that. They went into a 2-hour meeting, and they came out, oh, we found $30 million. What do you mean you found $30 million? Was it in the refrigerator? onion or was it in the couch? See, we don't even know what the starting point is. So we need to have that basic audit. And then from there, then we could start tackling the other things, streamlining different departments, which we've talked about before. Why hasn't it happened? The city had basically to streamline things 12 to 1, all of the different agencies a small business has to go through, and it didn't get done. Well, why doesn't it get done? Why is it that we have to wait to the next election cycle? Why can't we do it now? That's why we elect these individuals. Again, remember, they're the highest paid city council people in the nation. Get it done. Let's not keep talking about it every year and every election cycle. Let's get it done.
Mr. Montoya.
My main focus will be to tackle our budget deficit, not within the next few years. This needs to happen now. We need to do some basic soul searching at the city level and understand what it is to be a city. What is a core function of city? Is it to fund our ridiculous salary or to pave a road? I'm willing to say that all cuts need to start from the top to bottom, not bottom up, which is what the city is looking at right now. Let's cut the salaries of $35,000 a year employees, but let's not tackle our own $180,000 salary plus God knows how many staff members. I think the overhead is huge, and that's what we need to address. One of the things I also want to look at is, cutting. I want to limit cutting services because that disproportionately hurts people in the lower income bracket. And one of the main ways I want to increase tax revenue is to increase our tax base by introducing our businesses and streamlining it. I understand that we have to think of it in the whole context of this macroeconomic malaise, but in order to tackle the deficit, we need to be honest with you, the public, and understand these are our options. They may not be pretty, but this is what we have to do. I yield my time.
Michelle?
I do believe we have to be honest also. I think we need to be honest with the fact that according to Supervisor Antonovich, we have hundreds of millions and billions of dollars going toward illegal immigration. And that's the big elephant that's overlooked. No one wants to talk about it. The council member won't talk about it. And that's not right. And when I mentioned that my nephew was murdered and we were trying to talk to Wesson, well, when he found out that my nephew was murdered by a gang member living in the country illegally, he sent a representative to our house to ask us not to come forward to the city council. And he told my brother to don't say anything because you're going to open up a hornet's nest. Well, we need to open it up. We need to be honest. How in the world are we going to balance a budget when we have millions and billions of dollars going toward people who are here illegally? Wesson's not going to talk about it. No one's going to talk about it but me. I'm going to talk about it. And we have to do that. And when we talk about streamline, that's how we're going to have transparency and honesty. We need to open up dialogue. We cannot silence the people. We need to open up dialogue, put it on the table, and let's hear both sides of the story. Because Antonovich, who is the supervisor, he sends out these reports. I don't know if Wesson's office gets it, but he sends them out regularly. He's an elected official. We need to take this in consideration and look at these facts and see if they are true. Because we can't balance a budget with billions of dollars going out for people who are not supposed to be here. It's not right.
Follow-up question. So it is your belief that the long-term structural deficit of the city of Los Angeles and the current annual shortfall, which is estimated at over $450 million, can simply be solved by addressing the issue of undocumented citizens?
It's not just simply, it's the way we have to do it. If you're going to balance a budget, you need to know the money coming in and the money coming out. How are you going to balance it otherwise? So it's not just like a simple thing. No one's going to talk about it but me. No one from District 10 gonna talk about it. So yes, it's very important when you have money going out, if you're paying your bills and then someone's taking money out the bank account that you don't know about, how you gonna pay the bills?
Thank you. I started my opening statement by saying that our district lacks a vision and leadership. The lack of leadership is contributing to the problem that we have today. It has been said that they knew this problem long time ago, a few years back at least, but they refused to diverge that to our district, whom they supposedly represent. To me, that's worst malfeasance of any representative. We are on the verge of bankruptcy, make no mistake about it. Mr. Villalegosa will leave his job as a mayor, and he'll find his way to live happily thereafter. And other council members do likewise. However, we, the people who will be holding the bag, are the people who are going to be living here and who are working, every day, work hard, pay taxes, and want to have a better future for their children. These are people who will be left holding the bag. We need to be business friendly to increase the revenue, streamline permit process, all that need to be done. And as you know, Mr. Wesson refused to take pay cut. And I think that it's, well, if that's true, that's fine. However, if I'm so honored to be elected, I'll take 20% tax cut, 20% cut of my wage. And I know that we have a whole, the mayor's office, Villalobos has over 200 staff members. Why is that? What is he doing with that? All that humanity. We can say $4 million or so if we cut half of his staffs. We need to show the representative, the leadership need to show what they can do to sacrifice for the sake of district and the city of Los Angeles.
This will be the final prepared question, so please, if there are any questions within the audience, we've got the box. Hold your cards up. And it's the first question this question will be addressed first to Ms. Shaw. Over the last 5 years, which community organizations have you been involved with, and on what issues?
I was involved with Jamil's Law, which is going to deport gang members who are here illegally, and I'm also a part of a program called Safe Street that I created because 4 years ago I was focused on the churches, and I was going to a lot of the church groups in the community because I believe that the churches can play a big part in the community if the churches are willing to talk about a lot of important issues. So I was very strong in a lot of the churches. A lot of times people don't like you to ask questions at the groups, but I do believe that the church has a part to play. And I also believe that a lot of the local neighborhood programs, some of them are connected with the city, and they don't seem to want to talk about a lot of the issues about the problems that we're having with the gangs and the violence. And it's not just gang members who are here illegally, but unfortunately we have American gangs, and we just don't need other gangs here. So I was very involved with the Jamil's Law, the church programs. Thank you.
Mr. Weiss, I guess this question will be, yeah, we're going to have to tweak it a bit for you as well. Over the last 4 years, what community organizations have you partnered with, and on what issues?
Well, I've partnered with a lot of the neighborhood councils and any organization that wants to partner with us. But one of the things, like I said before, that I was most proud of is the creation of this organization called Project Save that deals with poor, at-risk kids within the 10th Council District. What we've been able to do is bring in gang intervention people from every part of the district. They meet in my office on a weekly basis. They meet with the police department, let the police department know where their various hot spots so that the police department can be there. Again, we do safe passages to the high school in order for the kids to feel comfortable, they need to have safe corridors. So we have created safe corridors, and attendance, especially in Dorsey, has increased, not decreased. We have job training classes, we have GED classes, we have anger management classes, where we're turning their lives around.